Hello, hello. Welcome to Healthy Perspectives, a podcast that takes on current, cultural, and social issues through a clinical lens. Hello, hello. All right, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us, as always, here at Healthy Perspectives. We appreciate your time. We know it's valuable, and we want to provide a good service. So today, we're going to get after it. To do or not to do. You probably heard this comment in the past. Well, I'm going to give you from that my tip of the day. This is my thinking. Okay, so don't, you can go look for it out there. I don't know, maybe it's out there. But here's what I would say for your tip of the day, and this comes straight from me. Err on the side of do, because you'll be less critical of those that do. What does that mean? I really believe there is a correlation, and I haven't done this. This is not research driven, this tip of the day today, but it's logic driven. It's sensible, reasonable person, common sense driven. If you err on the side of doing and you see others falling down and getting hurt on their journey to do you think you're going to be as critical? I don't think so. I believe probably not. And the reason that I think that is because you'll know what it's like to fall down and make mistakes. And I just think you're just going to, in general, be less critical of those that try to do. So that common sense leads to this. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about positive psychology. Tell you a little story I read a long time ago in The Psychology of Baseball. I believe that was the name of the book. I've never gone out and bought the book. I got it when I was at the university long time ago. And it's old. It's super old, but it's still pertinent. I was studying it because it was baseball. I was like, oh, cool. I'll learn about baseball. This will be great. And the story goes like this. They had set it up to do some research on the pitcher. And they asked the pitcher, so here's what I want you to do. Whatever you do, don't throw it up and in. And then they watched as the pitcher threw pitches. And then they went to the pitcher, and all this was set up to be, as controlled as you can be in this kind of an environment, which means it's not perfect. And then they again asked pitchers who were consistently throwing certain numbers of strikes at a given rate so that they could see the variability, how much it goes up and how much it goes down based on what we tell the pitcher to focus on. And then, so they come in and they tell the pitcher, okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to throw it down and away. And what they found was that there was a statistically significant difference. When you told the pitcher not to throw it up and in, the likelihood of it going up and in actually increased. If you told the pitcher to throw it down and away, the likelihood of it going down and away actually increased. And what we learned from this was early versions of positive psychology is really what it was we get more of what we focus on. That seems pretty simple to understand, but it's important. So there's a guy named Martin Seligman that would suggest, or the data that comes out of Seligman's work suggests that you get 31% more productivity when you focus on what you're trying to accomplish. That's a big difference. 31%. If I could increase everybody's productivity by 31%, screw that. Let's cut it in half by 15.5%. I have one of the best businesses in the world. Think about that. That is massive. And that's if it's half right. Okay. Also, you get 3 times more creativity when we focus on what we're trying to get to, what we're trying to accomplish. Massive, folks. Absolutely massive. Okay. So positive psychology, you're going to go out there. If you do any research, you're going to go out there and you're going to see, that it talks a lot about happiness. I'm here to tell you, this is again coming back to one of my opinions. I think that's a terrible focus. If you get to the heart of what positive psychology is, it's not about seeking happiness, although many would suggest you should seek happiness. I don't I don't buy into that part of the philosophy. And here's why. I strongly believe, based on all the evidence I have witnessed myself in life as a counselor, as a person, that it's dedicated focus on positive outcomes, desire, right? That creates a byproduct of happiness. Because if you're looking for happiness, you could spend your entire lifetime looking for it and you may not find it. But if you're looking for a dedicated focus on a positive outcome and you increase your odds by 31%, and you're more creative by 3 times, what are the chances that you're going to get to whatever that outcome is? Much better. Much better. And even if you fail, you fell moving forward at a significant pace even. So I've given you a lot of information, but you're probably going, how do we make that pertinent here today? Well, those of you who are joining me on Rumble or YouTube, you're going to get to see something. I'm going to share a screen with you, and it's going to be great, I hope. What we're going to do is we're going to put that into language that fits 2024. We are about to enter election season, correct? I mean, most early voting starts next week or the week after. Some places probably it's already started. So I pulled up here. I'm going to look at Donald Trump's platform. I'm going to look at Kamala Harris's platform. And I already preemptively struck. So just hang on there for a second. What I decided I wanted to do is say, hey, what are they focused on? And I thought, let's find out how distracted they are. Maybe we start with their distractions and then we move towards what they're focused on. Okay, so let's do this. Platform. For those of you following along, I open up a platform and I see I'm on Donald Trump first. We're looking through and we see, wow, there's a platform of 20 things. Ooh, there's actually a link here. And it goes to the whole entire 24 GOP platform. So let's do a little basic search here. And I'm going to put in Biden. For those of you following along, you'll see that it mentions Biden 7 times. 7. It says Biden administration. Joe Biden has deliberately encouraged. That's specific to Biden. The other was Biden administration. Biden's migrant invasion. I mean, language is pretty rough, but like Biden, a dangerous executive order, Biden's electrical vehicle, other mandates, Biden. Okay, so 7 times, folks. 7 times. He talks specifically about Joe Biden and Biden's administration. 7 times. Is that a big deal? What does it say on his website about Biden? How many times does he mention in the first 20? 0. Okay. Let's start with this premise that if he's focused on Biden 7 times, just out of curiosity, do you think that's where the focus ought to be? I would say no. I would say absolutely not. Why? Because I want him focused on what he will do with his administration when he's in there, not on what Joe Biden has done. Now, I know it's politics. We're playing the politic game, so you're going to see some of this. To me, it actually makes some sense to focus on the current administration because they're in there right now. But let's do this. Let's take a look at Kamala and see how many times Kamala shows up. Ooh, that would be 0 times. Let's see how much Kamala shows up, or Kamala Harris. I'll do both for those of you who are following along. Kamala is at 0. Okay. And how about Harris? It's 0. Doesn't mention Kamala Harris one time. Not once does he mention Kamala Harris. So what do you think is going to happen when we do this on Kamala Harris and her on the issues page? Because platform issues translate similarly, right? When I put in Trump, do you think the numbers are going to be the same? Is she more or less distracted than Donald Trump when it comes to the opposing party? Remember, err on the side of do, and you'll be less critical of other doers. All right, that's the tip of the day. Let's find out. Let's take a look. Well, apparently it says Harris 67 times. It's good. Talk about yourself. Actually, we're going to come back and do that. I haven't done that yet. I'm going to go back to Trump's and see how many times it says Trump. All right. So we're going to put on here in this particular web page, we're going to put on Trump 29 times. Trump is not even in the office. And she's so focused on Trump that she says Trump 29 times. 29, folks. That's a lot of times. That would be, for those of you who do basic math, a little more than 4 times the number of times that Trump recognized Biden. And 29 to 0 versus how many times Trump recognized Kamala Harris. Because the focus should be where? What's your agenda? What's the agenda? That's where the focus ought to be. Now we're going to come back here. So clearly you can see, what are we focused on, folks? Because we get more of what we focus on. That's how it works in positive psychology. If we're focused on Trump, we're going to get more Trump. Make sense? If we're focused on Kamala Harris, we're going to get more Kamala Harris. All right. So let's take a look. Remember, down and in, down and away, down and away. We want to focus on what we want more of. So let's go back to Harris. Let's get that number. 67. I haven't done this one yet, folks. This is a big deal. Let's find out how much in the document for Trump, how much it says Trump. 19. Let's go back to his webpage. And let's put in Trump. Let's see how many times. 4. Okay. So we've got 19 and 4. 23 times Donald Trump is acknowledged in his own pages. What does that mean, folks? I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm not a rocket scientist at all. What does it mean? It means Kamala Harris, if I'm using positive psychology, is focused on Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. Donald Trump is focused much less on Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, and Donald Trump. Just statistically, the number. Now, I didn't go through and read all of that stuff. I did already once. But understand, folks, if we're looking at positive psychology, we want to increase productivity by 31%, which is suggested. We want to increase productivity by 31%. What does that mean we should be doing? Focus on what we want more of. So you got to pick. I'm not telling you how to vote. It's not my place. I am talking the psychology of this whole thing. The conclusion from my vantage point, err on the side of the do so that you'll be less critical of other doers. If we're going off of that single tip of the day, then I would suggest it looks pretty clear. It looks pretty clear. You got to do what you got to do. I'm not telling you it's even right or wrong, but err on the side of do so that you're less critical of those that do. What does that mean about Donald Trump? It's probably a doer. What does that mean about Kamala Harris? Probably much less so. Do what you want with this information, folks. Again, I'm not here to sway you and to make you pick something. I'm here to teach the psychological stuff about it, and you got to decide how to apply it. You can go read the content. I didn't go to get into the content of it. I merely wanted to emphasize what positive psychology might suggest. And you got to do the rest. If you don't like what they believe on the issues, you got to figure that out. It's not up to me. I have already gone through and detailed out my thoughts and opinions on the issues. All of them. Well, almost all. There's new ones. I don't have something on electric vehicles at the moment, like we saw earlier. I have some ideas, but I haven't really vetted out my opinion on an issue. But be real, folks. Focus on what you're trying to accomplish. What do you want more of? Do you want somebody who's going to emphasize themselves and who their perceived enemy is? Or do you want somebody who's going to focus on you, the people? I might even suggest that maybe we could do better than both. Positive psychology allows us to be more creative. What are some other options? I hope this was helpful, folks. I know it was another quick hitter, but look, I've been having limited time lately. Got a lot going on in this world. So thank you so much for joining us. I hope this helps you paint some pictures a little bit more clearly. Please like, subscribe, share it with friends, get this word out there. We're trying to help people make more informed, healthier decisions over time. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you next time. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening. We appreciate our audience a lot, so we give you some simple ways to track us down. Please like, subscribe, and follow all the podcasts on different platforms, but you can also email us at healthyperspectives@protonmail.com, or you can check out our website at healthy-perspectives.com/podcast. It's a backward slash. So if you want to go to our landing page, if you go to healthy-perspectives.com, you'll still find us. You just got to click on the podcast button. Thank you so much.